What's up, YouTube? So, I just wanted to show something off today because it deserves to be shown off. I got these two guys, new, from Rowland Cutlery. You guys know Rowland Cutlery. He made that, the Kit Fox and the Kit Pup. Rowland Cutlery, American maker. Man, what a legend that dude is. So I just wanted to show something. I love recurves. I always have, and I always felt like when people would make recurves, they would always make them in giant choppers, just way too big for me anyway to actually carry around. Like, nobody was really doing it in like a belt knife size, right? As a matter of fact, the first recurve that I ever had was the K-Bar Cutlass, and I used that design to design this one. So as some of you know, this is actually my design. I didn't make it. I'm not a knife maker, but I commissioned this and had somebody make it for me. Dropped the ball on a couple little spots on the design, but the recurve itself crushes. The blade kicks butt. It wasn't exactly, even though I designed it, it was just off. It was missing something. So anyway, I had found this one on the Rowland Cutlery website, and it's called the Chuckwalla. Beautiful redwood handle scales, and this awesome belt knife recurve. And I'm just not seeing a lot of these on the market. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe people don't see the utility in the recurve, or they think it's just some kind of an aesthetic. But man, I don't. I think the recurve is like the perfect utility blade shape, because it can just do so many things. I've got this tracker out for a reason. We're going to get to that. So this is the one that I originally designed for myself. And this one I found on his website. Just a normal knife that he makes. And when I got to talking to him, I asked him if he would potentially make the Chuckwalla just bigger. And he goes, "Oh, dude." And he shows me a blueprint for this guy. And he says, "I haven't made it in years, but this is a knife that I used to make." And he shows me the CAD, right? Like the blueprint for it. And he goes, "Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty close to your design. Can I just make you that?" And I said, "Dude, absolutely." So in the process, he was actually going to help, or he was going to let me help name it. And what an epic failure. He came up with Chupacabra, and let's just say that was better than anything that I came up with. So here it is. This one's called the Chupacabra. And man, I was just outside using it a bit. It's kind of crappy weather, so I didn't use it a ton. But I'll show some footage of this thing just working. And man, recurves they're just awesome. So that's it in the sheath. JRE leather. Look at this guy. Beautiful. I'm just going to do some light batoning right here. There's actually some footage here that I lost of a stick with some branches on it. And I was going to show what that recurve does, like how easily it delimbs the branches, but that's gone. Because I'm new at this. Really, the whole point of these videos here, I'm actually just trying to learn how to video edit so that I could know how to edit videos. So if a lot of this seems choppy, I'm sure the 10 people that watch it will forgive me. But look at this thing feather stick. Look at that. So easy to control. I love recurve so much. Slice, 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 slice. They just crush. They just crush so hard. That handle is so comfortable. And that blade makes light work of all of this. And all that wood. It's hard to see it. It doesn't really look like it, but it's soaking wet too. About to chop off a finger right here. Watch. Stay tuned. Alright, you see, I'm putting no effort into those chops at all. Everybody's always talking about geometry, but this is the point of a recurve, right there on that belly. I'm barely doing anything. all I'm doing is laying that edge against the wood. And I'm just letting it fall right onto the belly. And everybody wants to talk about geometry, geometry, geometry. There it is right there. That belly chop. Look at that. You know, some people like trackers. I was never a giant fan. There's actually another guy, his channel's called Bushcraft and Baseball. And great name, by the way. Two things I also love. Bushcraft and Baseball. And that dude crushes. He loves trackers. And these things, again, there is a function. There's a utility to something like this. You've got your chopping end. Actually, this is a little bit better when this side is convexed and not hollowed. This one's got a hollow grind on it here. And then you keep the hollow here so that you can do fine stuff this way, right? But it also gives you this little armpit here. And they would call those, tracker feathers when you drag the stick up this way. Like if this were the stick, you drag it up. Instead of trying to go down, you can come up with the tracker knife and actually get feathers right inside of here. And they're beautiful feathers because this knife is not just a movie prop gimmick. There actually is a crazy amount of utility to something like this. I personally don't enjoy the armpit, though. I think it gets in the way when you're trying to just, slice across material this way, which is why I've never been a fan. I have one. This one's from GCS. It's like just some little, I don't know, some company. This thing was like $50. So it's cool. Here's my tracker, right? What's different about the Recurve is that when you're actually grazing it, across material and slicing this way, you still get this concept of you're cutting this way and this way against material at the same time. So you're cutting here and you're cutting this way. So on one slice, you're cutting from multiple angles because you're hitting this way and this way. It's almost like if you can think of a pair of scissors, right, that are snipping like this. The angles are coming like this. Obviously, on one knife, it's not scissors, so it's not going to be coming from opposite angles, but you're still getting 2 degrees where you're dragging material this way on one slice, which is why I just think recurves are so awesome. I have done a lot of work in the woods, in the field, in real time, using recurve blades. I didn't come up with this. The Ontario SP53 is a recurve. The K-Bar Cutlass Machete, which is what I designed this one off of, is a recurve. But they're just always gigantic and cumbersome. This thing, being belt knife style, this is like a 6-inch blade, right? Probably pretty similar to that one there. Maybe a hair longer, right? But yeah, 6-inch blade, 11 and some change overall. JRE leather sheath. I put the fire steel in there. That's just to light my fire. This one still has to get wet formed, but it's not cumbersome. This is just a great package. Right from my boy Tim over at Rowland Cutlery. That guy is an absolute legend. This thing is beautiful too. My fire steel. Added a little lanyard. I like lanyards on small knives. Hate me. Doesn't matter. I like them. Because that bad boy slides in there like that. That one is a little bit wet formed. As you can see, I just started that today. So I wet form like a little bit over time. I do it. A month later, I'll do it. A couple of months later, I'll do it again until it really sits in that pocket. But that's what we're working with. And it's just an absolutely incredible package. This knife I will be using for some bushcraft, but it has a crazy thin edge. This one has a much thicker edge. It's still pretty thin behind the edge, but it does have a much thicker behind the edge. So this will be my primary, like, taking it out, bushcrafting knife. Oh, and that ramp, it's like a harpoon style. He let me pick, this is black walnut. He let me pick the handles. So he hasn't made this knife in years. But he did make this one for me, because the dude is a legend. Rowland Cutlery. What do you think? Like I said, I love the Recurve, and I'm going to defend them until, I'm going to defend them forever. Because they just work so well. Man, this knife, it's just so light. This one's Nitro V, stainless. So, primarily, I'm thinking hunting, food prep, especially with that Recurve. Right? This one, Pro Cut. with the higher HRC. I think this one's HRC'd at like 61. But you best believe I'm going to use the mess out of this thing. And this one will get a full review. This one probably will too. You know, my channel, the reviews aren't going to get a crazy amount of views. But just for anybody that stumbles across it, look at the white liners. Man, he just crushes so hard, dude. Look how freaking beautiful this thing is, dude. Oh, handle is a little thin, but it's nice because you still get a grip. It's like the thinnest that I would personally want like a hammer grip handle for 4 fingers. But the thinness is actually, it works to the advantage because it's nimble. It's a very nimble knife. I mean, Nitro V is strong, but it's so light in the hand, dude. It's, oh man, it's just insane. Whereas this one, I mean, it's still pretty light for its size, but I mean, you've seen it chop. You saw me busting up them sticks. It's just incredible. So anyway, Rowland Cutlery. Go check him out. As a matter of fact, he's even running a coupon code Snowman until December 1st to get a Christmas discount on stuff from his website. So, Rowland Cutlery. Go check him out, man. He's incredible. All right, that's all I had. Peace.